12 hours. From sunset to sunrise, every criminal act becomes entirely legal. Emergency services stand down, and the rule of law simply vanishes. The philosophical justification for this nightmare usually points back to the English philosopher Thomas Hobbes. In his 1651 book Leviathan, Hobbes argued that without a sovereign authority to enforce the rules, humanity defaults to a violent, solitary war of all against all. According to this theory, a sanctioned night of crime acts as a necessary pressure valve. It gives the public a highly contained window to release their primal urges, supposedly ensuring peace for the rest of the year. Inside the city's powerless hospitals, the situation devolves into a desperate ethical crisis. Facilities face an overwhelming surge in trauma cases while operating entirely without electricity, running water, or functional sanitation. The harrowing reality of Memorial Medical Center following Hurricane Katrina in 2005 gives us a precedent for this exact breakdown. Marooned by floodwaters and severely delayed rescue operations, medical staff were forced into unimaginable ad hoc triage. With backup generators failing and evacuation physically impossible for elderly patients on life support, doctors had to make an agonizing calculation. Faced with abandoning patients to die slowly in horrific conditions, physicians administered lethal doses of morphine to those who could not be saved. Domestic saboteurs and hostile foreign intelligence agencies used the distraction to execute coordinated physical and cyber strikes against the nation's highly vulnerable power grid. The ensuing loss of electrical power triggers a cascading failure across all other critical sectors. Without power for complex defense or communication systems, fire and emergency medical dispatch centers are forced into strict abandoned station protocols, leaving the public entirely cut off from 911 services. Wealthy individuals and elite corporations utilize heavily armed mercenary contractors to lock down valuable property, effectively transforming their estates into sovereign microstates with lethal force authorization. By the time the first physical window is broken on a city street, the most catastrophic damage has already been done. Massive amounts of capital and intellectual property are stolen entirely out of public view. Physical violence eventually does break out, but it doesn't manifest as random chaos. We have a natural empirical test. When the Montreal police went on strike for 16 hours in 1969, the resulting violence was highly targeted. The most intense destruction occurred when an angry taxi drivers union exploited the absence of law enforcement to attack a rival limousine company's lucrative airport monopoly. The localized chaos in the streets provides perfect cover for a much larger structural attack. Domestic saboteurs and hostile foreign intelligence agencies use the distraction to